What's going on, guys? SteelTwins coming back at you with some news for day 4 of the free agency period. A bit of an eye-opener happened this morning as the Steelers announced that they will be releasing Myles Jack to save $8 million in cap space, and they signed a linebacker to replace Myles Jack, as is already announced that Cole Holcomb is officially a Pittsburgh Steeler, but so will be Elandon Roberts, former Miami Dolphins inside linebacker, as they had signed him to a 2-year deal.
As well as a former Patriot, so yeah, the entire linebacker room is completely revamped. When you look at the room from last year to this year, the only person returning is going to be Mark Robinson. That is it. The 7th-round rookie last year is the only guy returning to this current linebacker core. The Steelers are absolutely changing it. And first things first, I suppose we can all agree it was necessary because the linebacker room last year was very underwhelming. Bush is a huge disappointment. He's about to go visit Seattle. Please take him. Please. None of us want him back. And there's no chance of him coming back, seeing how they've signed 2 guys with a lot more starting experience, a lot more dependability, a lot more leadership, and is far better in the run game. So I'm just saying, Bush is gone for sure. And this just confirms that. But Jack's release, Myles Jack being cut, was a little bit of a shock. Because after they signed Elandon Roberts, a lot of us were like, okay, we're going to go into the season with Jack, Holcomb, Roberts, and Robinson, and that's the linebacker core. Maybe a rookie in there. That's not the case. It didn't take them long for them to cut Jack after signing these 2 linebackers, where, like you said, it saved $8 million. And it was a little bit of a shock to me, but at the same time, you got to understand, the Steelers pretty much were cornered. Either they bring him back under his cap hit, which would have been a little over $11 million, or they cut him and save $8 million. And the decision was kind of easy for the Steelers.
And there was also a concern with Myles Jack at the same time because according to Jerry Dulick here on Twitter, apparently there was some knee injuries troubling Myles Jack, and that could very well affect his future in the NFL.
Yeah, and
I don't know if the Steelers are going to want to take that risk, especially with over $11 million in salary cap.
And seeing how the linebacker room overall last year just played, especially in the run game. How many times did we see our inside linebackers get tossed around and pancaked and was on the ground and we're just completely running past the ball carrier and not being straight shooters in the run game and not hitting those gaps, right? It's disappointing, and it's something that the linebacker room absolutely needed. And that's why they signed guys like Holcomb, guys like Roberts. Those 2 are exceptional in the run game. The Steelers are absolutely focusing on fixing that hole at the inside linebacker room. And that's what those 2 are going to bring. Starting experience, leadership, and ferocious ability in the run game, man. As well as in the pass rush. However, in coverage, forget about it.
No. That's not their role. That's not their best trait. Their best trait is for sure stopping the run.
In fact, the way I see it, Holcomb and Roberts are more. It's more like a more athletic Robert Spillane and a mirroring of Vince Williams. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to imagine right now is Holcomb, because he passed his physical and the contract details, 3 years, $18 million, so 6 per year. So my interpretation of that is he's going to start. Roberts might start initially because there's no doubt in my mind they're still going to draft the position high. We can all agree on that. They have to.
No.
The linebacker room is still bare and still a little undetermined.
And you're not going to rely on these guys for the whole 17-game season.
No. So they're still going to draft the position high. But my initial look at it is Holcomb and Roberts might start initially, but I see Roberts specifically more as that rotation guy, filling in for Bush and Spillane. Pretty much playing that Spillane role as that rotational piece while filling in the Devin Bush role on defense, where his role last year was filling the run, getting the pass rush, shooting the gaps, which obviously Bush did not succeed well at all.
No, he didn't.
This guy is exceptional at it. In fact, he's coming off a career year, over 100 tackles, 10-plus tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks.
Yeah, starting every single game, all 17 for Miami.
That's a huge add in that department, which clearly the Steelers are focused on fixing that. They want to build the run game. They want to help the pass rush. Those 2 that we signed in the past 2 days at the linebacker room makes that room better in itself. But the Steelers have to still address the coverage ability, and I think they do that early in the draft.
Yeah.
Hopefully they find an all-around great talent to just develop and build upon these guys down the road.
Yeah, because truly for the inside linebacker position, that athlete, that dynamic sideline-to-sideline speed type linebacker, we have not had that since, obviously, Ryan Shazier.
No.
Devin Bush seemed like the guy to replace him, but he just underperformed. No. He didn't work out well, so the Steelers are going to be looking to replace him with that. But Roberts and Holcomb, they fixed the run game. They could be solid pass rushers at the same time, but the coverage ability, I wouldn't really focus on putting them there too much, because that would just ruin the defense.
No, and I don't think that's going to be most of their role. That's why they're going to draft the position high. And with the money that they saved for cutting Jack, I think they have to get an extension done with Terrell Edmunds, because for the lack of coverage linebackers that we have, even if we draft a guy, you still don't want to toss him in there immediately. Nor do the Steelers like to do that with their rookies.
Yeah,
there's a few exceptions we've seen in the past couple of years, but with the lack of coverage linebackers that we have, we still need to keep the 3 safety set tandem of Minka, Casey, and Edmunds. Only 2 of those are under contract. Edmunds needs to be next to be resigned. In fact, with the Steelers cutting guys, and they even made a restructure, Minka Fitzpatrick this morning, they're clearing up cap space.
Yeah, they cleared up $10 million for Minka's restructure.
So they're still gonna sign free agents and fill holes, but they got to assign their own free agents, and the top guy on that chart right now is Edmunds. You got to keep that 3 safety tandem, because either way you want to play them, you can put Casey in the slot, Casey at linebacker, or Minka there, or Edmunds there. Either way you want to put any of those guys in any fashion, those guys will make a play. Those guys just help each other out so well. And when Casey came back after injury and suspension last year, when we saw the 3 safety sets, it just helped the coverage ability last year. It helped the corner core in itself.
Yeah.
So we need to get him back with the money we saved for Jack. And I think that's going to make up for the lack of coverage linebackers. Hopefully they address that factor in itself in the draft, which we know they will, but the inside linebacker room is completely revamped. And like we said, I think it was necessary. I hate to see Jack go, but it was a business move.
Yeah, at the end of the day in the NFL, it's just business.
It is.
And you saw the risk that the Steelers were not going to be willing to take, so they decided to revamp, sign another linebacker, have them fill in and start since they have experience doing that. And like you said, maybe they look into the draft and look for an athlete, a coverage linebacker to develop.
And putting that guy with this type of linebacker room, along with Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson's going to benefit from these guys being in that room as well. If you had to ask me, I think the linebacker room right now is better than it was last year. Is it mind-blowing? Is it elite? Is it crazy? No. I mean,
this is the Steelers we're talking about. They're not going to make those type of moves, although we kind of hope that they do that every now and then. You know, they change it up a little bit, especially with the new administration. But at the end of the day, the Steelers are the Steelers.
Yeah, and you could say that most of these offseason free agent signings that they've done thus far this entire week, you could say that most of them or all of them are very mid, I would say. But it's an upgrade. It's an upgrade.
And I think we're really seeing what their mindset is, what their game plan is for the draft, because the guys that we have signed all together for corner, guard, and linebacker, and even resigned, you know, with Ogunjobi, you know, like the positions that they focus on for agency, you know, it doesn't really take away the possibility of still going after those positions early in the draft.
You know they're going to go corner early. You know they're going to go linebacker early. They should go tackle early. They showed interest in Orlando Brown. It was reported this morning by Jeremy Fowler before he signed with the Bengals. So they're still targeting the obvious positions that we need to target, and they're signing guys at those positions, but that doesn't rule out them going that position early. So far, I mean, they're doing business, man. They are making moves. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing drastic. It's nothing mind-blowing, but they are doing something, man.
But anyway, guys, that's the video. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, hit that subscribe, follow us on Twitter at SteelTwins, and check out SteelYinjas.com for all updates regarding the Steelers, as they are not done when it comes to the free agency period.
Definitely not done. Week 1 of free agency is coming to a close here, but the Steelers are far from done. They're making cap room. They're making other moves, so we'll see what the Steelers do. They might have some up their sleeve, but I'm sensing more moves are coming. Maybe at the edge position, definitely at defensive line. I think that would help out the run defense a little more as well, along with these linebacker additions. So we'll see what the Steelers do in the coming days, and stay tuned for all that. Otherwise, see you in the next one.
And like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace!